It's Catholic Schools Week here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned in the entire hour. I'm Debbie Georgiani with Jerry Escher, and yes, we are honoring Catholic schools. And we're also talking about charter schools, public schools. We're talking about the education system, especially for our children. If you've been through it, which we hope you have, you've gone through some schooling, you can comment about it. Maybe you're right now in school, in-person school or virtual school. We want to hear from you as well. So there's so many ways we can cover this, but remember, this is the week we are dedicating to Catholic schools. And I love that, Jerry. Way to honor Catholic education.
Well, it is. It's Celebrate Catholic Schools Week. There's also a Discover Catholic Schools Week every November. This is the 47th year of Celebrate Catholic Schools. And as Debbie said, we are expanding the net, so to speak, to talk about a whole lot of different things regarding education. We have some other shows planned for you as this week goes on. But today, we want to talk specifically about your decision as a student or as a parent with regard to where your kids attended school. If they went to a Catholic school, maybe they're currently enrolled, or public school, what were some of the reasons behind that decision? Maybe it was a cost factor. Maybe it was a geographic location factor. There wasn't a Catholic school nearby. How did you make that decision as parents? And if you are a student or graduate, for that matter, how did you decide whether to go to a Catholic or public high school or college? 833-288-EWTN. 833-288-3986.
And if you were on the line yesterday, please call back if you'd like to share something. Remember, this is the whole week we're dedicating to Catholic schools. So please call back. We didn't get to so many of you. We still didn't get to some of the social media comments and text messages from yesterday. They're still up on the board, so we'll be reading those as well. You can email us. We got lots of emails, an abundance of emails. Take2@EWTN.com. And Jerry, I forgot to mention this. We got just a boatload of comments on social media on Jerry and Debbie Facebook page. So we haven't even gotten there yet, but we're reading everything, folks. I don't know. Jerry and I, if I may say, Jerry, with all due respect, we're getting a little older, guys. So it's taken us a little longer to retrieve everything. It's great. It's a great situation to have. We're not complaining at all. We just want you to feel that you feel valued, that we're reading it, and we are. We just may not always be able to comment or respond.
Well, I can't speak for you, Debbie, but I've lost a step on my 40-yard dash. So, yeah, I'm a little bit slower than I once was. But, yeah, we do read all the emails, try and respond as best we can. We just we love the way so many of you just pour your hearts out in emails and share, details of your life, very intimate things that are going on with you, very sensitive things, difficult things, challenges, sometimes good things. So do keep those emails coming. You can do that during the show here as well at take2@EWTN.com. If you'd like to respond to our topic for today via email, you can do that there. The choice between Catholic and, well, let's say non-Catholic schools. That could be public, private, charter schools, whatever. Mm-hmm. How did you as parents make that decision? Or if you were a student and went through the system, what was the rationale for your decision? 833-288-3986.
And Jerry, yesterday we were grading the Catholic education that so many of us received. I gave it an A++++. And we didn't get to many of the calls yesterday and some of the comments. If you want to call back and grade your education, feel free to do that. We want to hear from you. We don't want to stop anyone. Also, too, you do not have to be Catholic to call in. You may be an individual that your parents sent you to Catholic education, and you're not, and you don't want to practice Catholicism, but you really valued the Catholic education experience. So please call in 833-288-3986. Don't wait till the last minute. We don't like to leave folks on the line. We like to get to everybody, and we're going to try to do that today.
I don't remember. Did you go all the way through a senior in high school in Catholic school?
No, 8th grade. I graduated. It's K through 8, and then we went to high school, public high school. I could have gone. My parents would have sent me specifically. I was the last child to Catholic high school, but our public high school in the town that we lived in West Caldwell, New Jersey, was fantastic. It's James Caldwell High School. It was fantastic. And it was a mile away from our house. That's another reason why people choose public school, because your kids can go to school, walk to school.
Yeah.
Right?
Tell me, yeah, I shared a little bit yesterday. There was a public school, grade school, right out my bedroom window, and virtually across the street, practically. I think my arm was good enough at that time. I could have thrown a rock and hit it, but I wouldn't have.
Wow.
But so after that experience of our mom trying to keep my sister and me in Catholic schools, going off the road into the ditch on that 30-mile one-way ride, she says, "That's it. You guys are going to public schools." And one of the benefits for that, I was thinking about this during the night, Debbie, for today's show. It would have been great. I would have had friends at Catholic school and all of that, but it was 30 miles away. And if I had not gone to the public school, then all of the kids in my neighborhood, I just have to think that, it would have been a little bit strange trying to develop friendships with them because, we weren't going to school together. I'm sure it could still have happened, but I think back now, and I just had a great upbringing with the friends in my community and the people that I got to know. And so I don't regret it at all in my situation.
I was very blessed. I went to Catholic school, but I always talk about my dear, wonderful friend / sister, Kristen, and she lived 2 doors up. She went to public school. So it was great because she cultivated all those friendships, and I had 2 sets of friends. I had my friends from Catholic school and then all her friends. So that was always very good. She did the hard work for me. But yeah, having the friends right around your house is important as well. And so there's so many factors that play into the discernment process of whether you should send your child to Catholic school or a private or charter or public school. We want to hear from you. There's a couple open phone lines. Okay, perfect time for you to get right in. Speak to Ryan, and you can get on the show. 833-288-3986. And by the way, I think we heard from Italy yesterday and the UK, and wow, all the international listeners are calling in, which I love that, or commenting, beautiful, I should say.
Well, it is a global program, and it is your show, Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you. Michael Birchfield, our producer, is in place today. Jeff Burstett on social media. Ryan Penny is answering the calls. 833-288-3986. Today, talking about schools. It's Celebrate Catholic Schools Week, and today we want to know how you as a parent or as an individual yourself made the choice between Catholic and another type of school. So please join us. Got a couple of open phone lines right now.
Celebrate the beauty and sanctity of humanity with the Gift of Life Novena Bracelet. Designed exclusively for EWTN, it features 9 prayer beads, a St. Benedict crucifix, a miraculous medal, and medal of St. Anne with her daughter, the Blessed Virgin Mary. Ask for the prayers of these holy saints with the Gift of Life Novena Bracelet, now available for just $39.95. To order, go to EWTNRC.com and search for item number 739.
Tomorrow morning on the Sunrise Morning Show.
We'll catch up with Father David Guffey of Family Theater Productions to discuss their film Pray, the story of Patrick Peyton, now available on digital. We'll also get visits from Carlo Broussard of Catholic Answers and canon lawyer Father Philip Michael Tangora, as well as some tips to help us stop worrying and start living from Gary Zimak. Plus news, weather, sports, and a whole lot more.
The Sunrise Morning Show, tomorrow at 6 a.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio.
Each person has dignity and worth, not because of his physical abilities or occupation, not because of her skin color or status. Each person is valuable, not because of his productivity or age, but because we are human, created by God in His own image and likeness, and neither economics nor emotions should alter the length of each person's gift to humanity.
We still have a couple open phone lines. We'd love to hear from you. This is Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. This is the platform where you speak. The faithful speak. This is a great opportunity. Come on, you guys. 833-288-3986. That's the number to call. We're talking about Catholic versus public school. What are the pros, cons? We want to hear everything. That's how we learn and grow. There go the phone lines. That's the way to do it. Real quickly, if I may, Jerry. I love church pop. Have I told you that lately? Love church
No,
pop.
you have. You've told me that many times. You told
I
our
do.
listeners too.
I love church pop. And if you ever want to friend me on Facebook, okay, it's Debbie Georgiani, obviously, and you'll see that I always post the church pop articles. And church pop takes a fresh and fun look at the news shaping our world. It sure does. And you can find it on Snapchat, Instagram, and on the web at churchpop.com. Folks, I'm just warning you. It's a good addiction to have. You're going to get addicted to church pop.
Well, and it's from EWTN, so it's going to be very reliable and very inspiring and uplifting, and even a bit humorous at times too. So.
Oh yeah, great
Okay.
things. I think they had a thing on blessed salt the other day. It was so cool. I mean, they just do a really good job of keeping it, just interesting. I love that.
Okay, we're going to go to your calls here on how you chose Catholic versus other schools, 833-288-3986. Jean is first in Cleveland, listening on our friends at The Rock. Hi, Jean. Welcome to Take Two.
Hi, Jean.
Oh, hi. Hi. Thank you very much for taking my call.
Sure.
I would have to say I would have to give overall the Catholic schools, from 5th grade on through college, I would say a B+. Not because of the grade school. The grade school, I would say, was an A+. I went to public school for 4 years because in Cleveland there were schools where they had classes for the visually impaired and the totally blind to either learn, large print or Braille. In my case, it was Braille. But after 4 years, my mom and dad were somewhat dissatisfied with one of the teachers, that was teaching us, and dissatisfied with the junior high homeroom teacher that I would have had I gone to public school junior high. So they had arrangements with the pastor. The principal didn't like it at first, but he gave permission for me to go into Our Lady of Angels, and at 5th grade. In fact, my mom told him that if I couldn't come to that school, we would move to Parma so that I could attend the public school in Parma. That was very good. He says, Mrs. Gallagher, you wouldn't even know how to genuflect in another parish. She grew up in Cleveland her whole life. So I went 5th through 8th grade at Our Lady of Angels. 2 of the 3 teachers I had had been my Sunday school teachers. In fact, the teacher I had in 5th grade also had a blind sister. And I had the same teacher for 6th and 7th grade, who was a layperson, who until somewhat recently, because of various ailments, was gone to our prayer meeting on Tuesday nights. But she was had come to our house before this school started in the 6th grade, to talk with my mom and to talk with me. And it was a wonderful 4 years. I would say that those years were wonderful 4 years. And, so there you have it.
Wow, well, that's good. You had determined parents. That's a beautiful thing. And it sounds like, I think a lot of times, I think nowadays, we have most of all schools, I think maybe it's by, law or whatever, have to be equipped for students, with who are blind or have a vision impaired or something, and other sorts of things like that. But it sounds like you had a really great experience there, and it's beautiful that you had some of the teachers in school who had been your Sunday school teachers, so there was a familiarity there as well. Debbie, I don't know if you have any thoughts for Jean, but
No, I was just going to say, Jean, as I listen to you reflecting back on your Catholic education, it's just so amazing how, the things we remember, they just stay with us in really deep ways. And and I hear you speaking, and I just it makes me go into that place of looking at going back and just thinking of everything. Anything else you want to add to that? Because I think that's one of the beautiful results that come out of a Catholic education. What do you think?
I would say so, because and my mom and several other parents tried to get a program going in the Catholic schools in general for the visually impaired, because some of them went to the same school I did and had the same teacher I did, that, and they were dissatisfied with the teacher as well. But because other cities have had programs for the visually impaired. Of course, a lot of us grew up in the era where, we had too much oxygen, due to premature birth. And so, but now there aren't as many. So a lot of the programs, don't exist as much anymore. Although there have been some people, Xavier Society for the Blind does produce Braille, at least the religious books in Braille for kids who attend Catholic schools. So it does still exist. But as far as in Cleveland, I think in Cleveland I'm the only blind student who attended grade school, and there was no, I take that back. A friend of mine went to 7th and 8th grade, but then one person went through 9th and 10th grade in Catholic school, and then went to the school for the blind to get some of the skills like cooking and sewing that she thought she needed. And but I graduated from Catholic school and went to undergraduate college, Catholic college. So,
Jean, you've just been such a loyal Take Two family member, and I just wanted to ask you, growing up with these situations that you had to encounter, can you tell us, like, what did it? I mean, I guess it's what you always knew, right? So you didn't know any different. But let me ask you a question: How were you treated generally, and how like? Can you share with us what it felt like, from your perspective? I've often wondered that with folks that have, additional situations that they have to encounter on a regular basis.
I think I was treated very well. Every once in a while, when we needed to go someplace, and friends would say, "You take her," "No, you take her," "No, you take her," But that's just kind of like that was normal little kids. In high school, it was a little bit difficult. And it's not like they mistreated me, but I never was in with the in crowd. And really, but I did have a couple of really pretty good friends. So
that's good.
I think I was treated very well, and I think I've always been treated very well. There are a couple instances in high school and college, but not so much from the students. But really, for the most part, I've been treated very well, and I think my mom was the one that was such an advocate. If anything went wrong, she would have, been in there. So,
well, we need to honor your mom. What's your mom's first name? We need to honor her. I'm going to put her in the book.
Mary Louise.
Mary
and
Louise.
My dad's name was Edward. Yep.
Edward.
Okay.
I love that. It's my dad's middle name.
My dad,
I love
by
it.
the way,
love that.
For several years before he got Alzheimer's and couldn't do it anymore, whenever I lectured on Sundays, at the local church, I would take my Braille writer down, and he would read to me the prayers of the faithful, because I had the first and second readings in Braille from the Xavier Society for the Blind. But of course, the prayers of the faithful would change every week. So I would take the Braille writer, and he would read them to me, so that I could read them.
Wow.
Wow.
What a beautiful gift.
And my mom was a Braille transcriber. She Brailled my math book, and for 2 years she Brailled my spelling book and the dictionary. Another woman did 7th and 8th grade. But she started Braille classes when I was in first grade so she could help me at night. There were, I think, 7 women in the class. She was the only one who stuck it out the whole time. Everybody else quit.
Wow. You had a beautiful family, Jean. Your
Yeah.
parents, it sounds like, were very, very beautiful people. And as Debbie said, we definitely have them in our prayer book here, and we'll keep you in prayer as well. And we definitely thank you for calling, leading off the calls here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie from Cleveland, listening on The Rock. Thank you, Jean, so much. Let's see, Linda is next. We're going to go a little ways to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Sirius XM 130. Hi, Linda. Welcome to the program.
Oh, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
This is a subject dear to my heart, so I was so happy to be driving around, pause now, and had your show and the topic being Catholic Education Week. I, too, like many of your prior folks that called in, did have a Catholic education with my brothers. My parents both worked in order to send us to the Catholic school, and I also have very fond memories. So when I became a parent and I had the choice of sending our daughter, to school, I immediately looked into the Catholic education. She's had a great ride through grade school, and now she attends a Catholic high school. She's a sophomore. I have been delighted with the education she's received. I was always interested in having her being exposed to the Catholic faith through school. teaching, various things as respect and concern for others, as well as a top level education. We're fortunate that we can afford to send her to the school, but there are also many avenues that people that do not have the income can obtain education, through local scholarships. But in this day and age, I think what really strikes me is so much of the secularism and the influence of some of these schools that are having on our youth, and the values and the thoughts that are being kind of indoctrinated into them today. I am very happy that my child is attending a school that addresses these issues, that teaches the truth. And so far that when she goes to college, we're already exploring Catholic colleges just for that same venue.
Beautiful. So let me just, if I'm hearing you correctly, Linda, you, so this is an authentic, Catholic school. So you're really happy about it because she's getting those real, genuine Catholic values, which is wonderful. Is this a all girls school or is it co-ed? Her high school? No,
I'll give a shout out. It's North Catholic High School, which is located in Cranberry, PA, outside of Pittsburgh. It's boys and girls on 9th through 12th. Mm-hmm. We've been fortunate through this pandemic because of the smaller class size. It's a newer school that they have had in-class training since the fall. They do also offer online training, and it's actually come in handy these past few days with the snow. But it's nice to have the ability to have dedicated teachers that are willing to come to school to teach, as well as do online virtual training if the child, chooses to do.
That's beautiful. Well, you do realize your principal is probably going to make an announcement after today and say, we're getting a lot of calls. Everybody's interested in our school. That's because of Linda.
No, and I realize
I love
the
that.
Public school systems and the things they're under and the limitations. Some of the schools are older, that the huge amount of sizes of the classes. So I don't mean to dismiss that. But when it comes to the Catholic faith and what you prioritize and your values, I just felt that I owed it to her. And she's been very happy there and has made some great friends, getting a great education. And I'm grateful that we had that option.
Yeah, well, Linda, the only thing I would add is you mentioned truth. You talked about tackling these very difficult societal and cultural issues and getting it presented in a manner of truth. And that is so very, very important because, truth, as they say, is not an abstract thing. It's a reality. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And it's unfortunate that, in most public schools and many other private schools that God is not presented, the faith is not presented and so forth. But God is the creator of all things. God is the creator of our minds, our intellects. He's the creator of all the information that we take in order to form us to be holy, godly people as we grow up. So I think it's wonderful that your daughter is having that experience in school, and I'm sure that she'll pick a good Catholic college at some point. In fact, I want to mention there's an organization called the Newman Society, newmansociety.org. Linda, you may be familiar with it, but they have recommended Catholic colleges and universities on there. So newmansociety.org. Anything else, Linda, you wanted to mention?
Great. Yeah. No, I think that was it. Like I said, there's always a choice, and I think, based on what you value or your belief, especially in today's environment, I think the Catholic school system, whether you're Catholic or not, provides a great education.
Indeed. Well, thank you. We'll be praying for all of you, especially your beautiful daughter, that she has a continued great experience in high school and finds a fantastic Catholic college to go to. Thank you, Linda, for the call to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We appreciate that so much.
We have just a couple minutes, so if Christine and Michelle and Teresa and the other Linda can hold on. Jerry, can we get to some of the social media comments? They're coming in so fast.
Sure. Yeah, Michael, I think we hear from Michael regularly. I thank God I was taught by nuns with traditional habits. Fertile seeds were planted. Thank you, Michael. Let's see. We have Anna Maria. I think the Catholic schools need more of a witness from clergy and religious as an active presence in the school. They've kind of gotten away from that in some schools. Well, Anna Maria, that's due in large part to the drop in numbers of religious and priestly vocations. Something, Debbie, we all should be praying wholeheartedly for each and every day.
Absolutely. You could keep going if you want. I'm kind of following along because my screen is acting funny.
All right. Well, Jennifer says, she's watching on YouTube, by the way, the benefit of Catholic schools being the responsibility of the diocese and all parishioners, tithing time, talents, and treasures is a healthy amount of religious vocations. And we mentioned yesterday the Diocese of Wichita, which does have a program in place where students can get free Catholic education, and they're also booming with priestly and religious vocations, huh?
That's right.
Go figure, Debbie.
Go figure. I know. What a great thing. Okay, so this is Catholic versus public school. How did you decide? We want to hear from you. Please call in 833-288-3986.
El Cresta, Jonette Williams, Father Robert Spitzer. You'll hear the leading Catholic voices on the largest Catholic media network in the world. This is the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.
Are you able to stand tall, knowing God's purpose and plan for your life and living that out? Many people need a little assistance in getting to that point. That's why there's Stand Tall Life Coaching. Our growing team of certified coaches can assist you in dreaming big and living your best life. Learn more today and sign up for your free consultation at standtalltoday.com. That's standtalltoday.com.
This is Mike and Alicia Hernan with a Messy Family Minute. For years, we felt like bad Catholics because with our young family, we didn't have enough energy to cooperate in our parish campaigns to do works of mercy in our community. Then the realization came, the works of mercy can be practiced in the home. As a matter of fact, they should be first practiced at home.
What do parents do every day? Clothe the naked, give food to the hungry, give drink to the thirsty, shelter the homeless. Maybe even visit the imprisoned when you send them to their rooms. Think about it. There is no one you see every day who needs you more than your children. Your kids have nothing except what you give them. They are dependent upon you for their physical survival, but also for their emotional, psychological, and spiritual health.
Begin by showing mercy within your home and allow it to be a means of transformation for you. You can take the ordinary work of your life and transform it into a means of extraordinary grace. For more encouragement and resources, visit us at messyfamilyminute.org.
Hi, this is Cy Kellett. Later today on Catholic Answers Live, we've got him, Tim Staples, 2 hours, open forum. Catholic Answers Live, 6 p.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio. Now back to Take 2 with Jerry and Debbie.
This is Celebrate Catholic Schools Week, and we are looking at Catholic schools, but also really the entire across-the-board education system and choices that we make. And today talking about how you decided for your kids or for yourself whether to go to Catholic schools or public or private of some other form. 833-288-3986. Before we go back to the phones, we got an email. It says, "Ciao, Debbie. I'm British Italian and was educated in Italy, where all public Catholic schools are free."
Mm-hmm. I saw it from John.
The closing, he says, "Dio vi benedica." I don't know if I said that right. I think it means God bless you. It looks like God bless you.
Thank you, John. How do you say it? It's Gianluca? I love that.
Gianluca, yeah.
Oh, Gianluca. Love your emails. British Italian. That is so cool. You probably have the British accent, but yet you're Italian. That's really cool.
Yeah.
You know me, I always like to have that English accent.
Oh, yeah, you do actually. You have a good one, too.
Yes, someday I will do it.
Good. Well, let's go to Christine next in Philadelphia, listening on Holy Spirit Radio. Hi, Christine. You are next here on Take 2 with Jerry and Debbie.
Hi, Christine.
Thank you. I'm relating how my parents, actually my mother decided to send us to Catholic school. My mother was raised Lutheran. My father was raised Catholic but went to public school. He was very active, to say the least, so it was better well, actually, his sister went too. at least through grade school. But anyhow, my father said to my mother when the time came, you decide. You decide whether to send him to Catholic or public school. And because all the kids were Catholic, she decided to send us to Catholic school, even though there was a very good public school with the shorter walk, a demonstration school. No, she decided that, Chris, Sue, and Karen are going to Catholic school. So I went, grade school, high school, all girls, proud of it. It's still around, even though 2 Catholic schools in Philadelphia and the suburbs were told that it was no longer feasible for them to be open, unfortunately. And so, that's my story.
Mm. Well, on that last thing that you just said, it really is a very, very unfortunate, almost a tragedy, that so many Catholic schools have had to close for various reasons. In most cases, lack of attendance, lack of, money, not being able to pay for those and so forth. I love Philadelphia for many reasons, Christine, but I spent 1 year at St. Charles. Yeah, I spent a year at St. Charles Borromeo Seminary. And
wonderful.
Yeah, it was a great experience. And I bring that up because seminarians typically have what's called field education. 1 day a week, they go out, as you may know, and they are involved in some ministry. And I was at a parish, I can't remember the name of the parish, but I got to be involved with the school kids, teaching them first sacraments, communion and reconciliation. And it was just such a beautiful experience. They had the uniforms on, and Philly just still seems to be a pretty Catholic area as far as I know. In fact, if I remember right, people when they asked where do you live, they said what Catholic parish they live by. Everybody said that.
Yes,
is that still the same?
Do.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's absolutely amazing. Where do you live?
Positively.
I live, even non-Catholics. Where do you live? I live in St. Matthews. Isn't that
I don't know
cool,
about
Debbie?
that because most of my friends are Catholic.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Wow. That
Except
is
for
beautiful.
some college.
That's
I get
community,
heat
though.
for being I get heat for being Catholic from when I call my college friends, and unfortunately, my first cousin, who, every time I call my cousin Paul in Baltimore, he'll say, "Are you still Catholic?" Oh, what a
oh no
shame!
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you're probably praying for him, I'll bet.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he and his wife. I've talked to his wife on the phone, and she seems like a very nice person and everything. And it's just a shame.
Well, it sounds like yeah, but Christine, it sounds like you're super proud to be Catholic in a good way, and I think it's wonderful.
Yes.
I mean that's how we that's how we all should be.
Some of my relatives. My youngest sister thinks I'm too Catholic, but people have told me that that's a compliment.
Mm-hmm. I often wonder about that. I have to tell you both this, Christine and Jerry, and everybody that's listening. How can you be too Catholic? Right? I mean, we're authentically Catholic, 100% Catholic, or we're not, and it's kind of interesting. How can you be too Catholic? That's always baffled me.
Yeah.
Right.
That's be kind of like saying, you eat 3 meals a day. Somebody says you eat too much. No, I'm just sustenance. It's what I need to get by. Yeah.
Right.
Beautiful, Christine.
I eat 3 meals a day, but I'm told I eat too little, and my weight is could be higher.
Oh wow.
Well, be sure and take care of yourself. And thank you so much for listening to Holy Spirit Radio and for calling Take Two. We appreciate that, Christine, very much.
Yes, thank you, Christine. God bless you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And Jerry, our Italian Take Two family members are weighing in. They said, Jerry, you're really good at speaking Italian. Dio the Benedica is God bless you. So it is. Yeah.
Well, that's from my Latin in college. You
Right.
know, you can recognize.
Right.
That one wasn't too hard.
So John, send another email to Jerry, all in Italian, and let's see if he can figure it out.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I love that.
Okay, we're going to go back to the phones in just a second here. Where is that? Here's the email I was looking for. Came in yesterday from Marion. It says, love your show. Thank you, Marion. She says, I pray for you two daily and appreciate all you do. Well, God bless you for that. My husband and I raised our 4 children, 1 girl and 3 boys, in Catholic schools from preschool through 12th grade. We would give it an A+. Our adult children appreciated the sacrifice we made to send them to Catholic schools and told us when they entered college that they felt they were more prepared than their friends who attended public school. Plus, it deepened their faith. Our daughter is a nurse and actually went back to their elementary middle school to be a school nurse for a few years. We are blessed to have our Catholic schools. And she closes by saying, go Chiefs. She's in Missouri, so she's rooting hard for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl this Sunday.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you so much. We love the emails from the Take Two family. But let's go back to the calls. Michelle has been waiting so patiently in Plano, Texas. On YouTube, we're waving to you, Michelle. First time caller. Hi, Michelle. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. This is really surreal.
I love Plano, Texas, by the way. I have a lot of friends there. You live in a beautiful area of the country.
Thank you. Yes, we love it here in Texas. And that was part of the reason I felt compelled to call and share. My children we have 4 children, much like the person you just read about, 3 boys and our daughter. They're finally all in Catholic school, and it's a significant sacrifice for us, but one that, we almost weekly, we know we wouldn't change it, and especially this week with Catholic Schools Week. The kids have been coming home, and I was mentioning to the screener that yesterday one of our twins said, Mom, I know why you send us to private Catholic school, why you send us to Mary Immaculate. And I said, well, why is that? And he's like, because there we can talk about Jesus every day. And it just sort of hit me. And the fact that they start their day with prayer every day, and they end their day with prayer every day, that is an invaluable lesson, and it's one that I went to the same parochial school growing up. I went kindergarten to Mary Immaculate and went through 8th grade, went to an all-girls high school, went to St. Mary's University, a Catholic university down in San Antonio, so I've never been outside of the Catholic school system. So it was kind of a no-brainer, but I can't imagine any other way. So that's why when it came to enrolling them, this is what we're going to do, so we make the sacrifices, and it's all for it. It's all worth it. Absolutely, and I'm starting to well up in tears, because how old was that twin that came to you and said that? How old was he? Is he? They just turned 9. They just turned 9 last week. Wow.
And he says, I know,
so.
And he says, I know why you send us to Catholic school. See, that's what I was talking about yesterday. Michelle, that's what I was talking about. These children that I saw in this video of First Catholic Schools Week from our local school here, you could tell there was a sense of freedom in the way they were speaking. They felt alive. They felt, we are meant for God. We're meant to get back to God. And these kids, they when they understand that, there's such a beauty in it. And plus, you just hope for them that they can continue to hold on to that, even when they go out into the world, right?
Absolutely, planting the seeds, and there is something so particularly special. And I believe one of the previous callers, some of the same administrators and teachers that were there when I was in school. I'm 41. Are there, and of course they've grown into more of the roles in the school management of it, which is great because it keeps in the spirit. But we got Dominican sisters these past 2 years, so the children are also seeing sisters in habits, and I love that. I love that it's normal. It's nothing that is odd or even awkward for them. I love that it's part of their normal, and I think that's why I wanted that so much for them. My husband is a public school kid, and if anything, he's more adamant that we do everything that we need to keep them in Catholic school, because he's seen this world and he knows what he grew up in, and he's like, no, like this is going to be the road that's going to save my children.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Debbie always says when anytime a teacher or a nurse calls in, Michelle, she says there's going to be a special place in heaven for those who do those things. And there are a lot of teachers right now, and I'm sure a lot of parents who are listening. You talked about making the sacrifice, and they're maybe thinking to themselves, I wish I could do that. I just can't do that right now. Or there might be some teachers listening. And the thing is, in our public schools, there was a day when there was prayer in public schools, and history was taught and God was taught, and so much of this has now been coming down from the top and forced upon these wonderful, wonderful people who still want to teach, as best they can and teach what's true, but their hands are kind of tied in a lot of cases. So I'm sure there's a lot of people, whose hearts are hurting over this whole issue. And then you mentioned making the sacrifices. I agree with you. Anybody who can do that, we definitely encourage to do so.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. Michelle, thank you so much for you're watching the show on YouTube. Thank you so much. And thank you for calling in, being a first-time caller. You're not a first-time caller anymore, so we hope to hear from you again. And we just,
you.
we appreciate you. Sound like a great mom. You really do.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's been tough, but through the pandemic. But again, if it wasn't even for the school and the administrators, and I'd like to shout out Sister Marianne, this wouldn't be possible. If this has also been a reinforcement in my faith as to why we choose our Catholic faith, and we choose to show our children, because it is literally the only way to do things these days. Everything else is just so scary. So I pray for everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle. God bless. Have a blessed day, you and the family. We got an email from Corey. He says, quote, "You're too Catholic," end quote, means, quote, "You are too uncompromising in the face of the spirit of the world." I think Corey put it right. He says, "You're too Catholic" means you are too uncompromising in the face of the spirit of the world. Thanks, Corey, for weighing in and for listening to the show today.
Great emails, great comments we're getting, and thank you again, Michelle. That was a great call. Teresa is up next in South Carolina, listening on Sirius XM 130. Another first-time caller. Hi, Teresa.
Hey, how are you? I've been listening to you guys probably since the day you guys started, so it's been a while, but it's my first time calling.
Oh, thank you so much.
I think my biggest thing is why I chose Catholic school for my I have 4 children, 3 of them is currently in school, is because my parents made the same sacrifice for us. I know a couple of the callers mentioned sacrifice, and it is definitely a sacrifice. But for us, every time when it comes to, are we going to continue to send them there? It's that one is always like a non-negotiable with me and my husband, just because we both been to Catholic school, and we just know that that's where our children needs to be.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have heard that a lot. Our parents made the sacrifice, and so that those of us as parents, pick it up and continue to do that, and it's just so beautiful. And as I was hearing you speak, Teresa, I was thinking about there are so many ways to get creative. Michael Birchfield, our producer, gave us a long list of scholarship opportunities that can be applied for private and Catholic schools. And it's just amazing. And then I think of the tuition tax credit and all those tax ways that you can, take advantage to help with tuition. You get creative, you work at it. And I believe God, blesses those sacrifices. I really do. But however, having said that, I will also state that, there are phenomenal public schools and charter schools and schools of that nature, traditional schools and stuff, phenomenal schools. My kids went through a public school education system and they did great. It was really, it excelled in so many areas. So, but I think it is important though, if you choose for that faith-based education, that there is going to be some sacrifices attached to it. What do you think, Jerry?
Well, I agree, and as you said, Teresa, you said it's non-negotiable for you and your husband, and Michelle was basically saying the same thing. Our last caller, I've always told my nephews and nieces. I've had no kids of my own, but I always tell my nephews and nieces, get your education. Get your education. You're going to be light years ahead of your peers. Unfortunately, many young people today don't see the value of an education, and of course, somebody can go to the top of the world without a college education. It's not to be denied, but obviously an education with God at the center is best, because we're living in times we're always living in times where our faith is so important and has to be honed and sharpened and practiced and fed. And so, yeah, Teresa, I think you made some great points. Anything else?
Yeah, then just, also, I know a couple of the people were talking about yesterday even that, it's difficult to go through it. I encourage you every time I go to a new school, and we had to go through that process this past year to re-enroll our children at a different Catholic school, but just talk to the administrator, talk to the school. There are, financial options. And, I will say every school that my children been to so far, they worked with us, so definitely reach out to the school, even if you, think you want to go there, and pray about it, because, if there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
That is great advice, actually. I know somebody that went to the administration and said, can I volunteer? Can I do this? Can I help? And get some kind of breaks, and they were able to apply for this family, and it was really wonderful. They were able to put their kids through Catholic elementary school, and so yeah, you're right. You really talk to them, talk to the schools. Excellent advice, Teresa. Teresa, you're amazing. You've been listening for 5.5 years. This is your first time calling. We don't expect this to be your very last time calling it again, okay? So you're welcome to call again in 30 days? Is that all right?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
God bless you, Teresa.
I'm always worried. Aren't you always worried that if somebody calls for the first time, you're thinking, is this going to be the last time we're ever going to hear their voice?
There, I got that out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fantastic. I would say we have at least 50% first-time callers on this show. It's absolutely amazing.
It is.
I was just going to mention EWTN News Nightly. Folks, the news, getting the news these days is so very important, and EWTN News Nightly gives you the same news you're going to get elsewhere, but it's with a Catholic perspective. Host Tracy Sable and her team do a fantastic job giving you the news from top stories and daily reports from around the world, and again, it's through a Catholic lens, which I think is very, very important. So tune in. It is tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, EWTN News Nightly.
Linda is up next in Bryan, Ohio, listening on Annunciation Radio. Hi, Linda. Welcome.
Hello. It's my second time. I'm calling back.
Good.
Yay, we're so glad.
and because you really have a subject that is dear to my heart. I went to Catholic school. I went to 3 different Catholic schools, having moved 3 times. On our third move, for whatever reason, I was put in public school. And then we moved again, the 4th time, I guess, and to another town, and I was put in Catholic school. And we were there 2 weeks, and my dad was asked to let us finish out the year, February, in public school because we were so far behind. And that would have been in the 60s. So my dad never did that again. So I went to 3 Catholic schools growing up and had wonderful teachers, wonderful, sweet, kind teachers, which, when people talk about the mean nuns, that does not register to me. And I had nuns. I went to Catholic school in the 60s. So I did not have any lay teachers growing up. And then when I had kids, I did actually send them to public school because we lived out in the country closer to a little country school that actually reminded me of my Catholic school. And when I went there, they prayed before lunch. God is great, God is good. They prayed because this was a long time ago. And I really had a great experience in that public school. Are you there?
We are here, yes,
Hello?
absorbing all of it. Yeah, we're right here,
yes.
Linda.
I'm getting something. I'm just wondering if I lost you. Yeah, I had a great experience in that particular public school. Very Christian. Very Christian. I mean, I'm in the middle of nowhere where I live anyway, deeply Christian-rooted communities. And so then when my kids went to, they aged out of that school, which that school only went to fourth grade, then they rode the bus and went to the Catholic school. I ended up becoming a teacher in the Catholic school and taught there for 8 years. Both my kids graduated from the Catholic school, even though the numbers certainly did dwindle down because of a brand new air-conditioned middle school. We lost a lot of kids to that school, and we still are. I mean, I can't say that. But we have updated the school. We have a sister parish. My kids, of course, are grown, have kids of their own. My daughter does not live here. She lives in another town, and their dad is a teacher, so they go to the public school, but I am their religious ed teacher.
Wow.
So I love that, and I love teaching the kids religious ed. I have been in religious ed for probably 20 years, and I did Catholic school teaching for 10 years. I know the signs of the times are very, very hard for Catholic education today. I have a couple of parents that are really, really involved, but the kids are so distracted by the world, and religious ed isn't something they want to come to. But I'm trying to make it fun, and I think I am. I feed them. I play games.
As long as there's food, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, okay, answer me this question, and I'll let you have this candy. But yeah,
Well, Linda.
and we just dumped the teacher.
Yeah.
But Catholic schools, yeah, I mean, even out in my area, there was a decision made to close the 7th and 8th grade, which I don't agree with, but I don't fund it. So you go with what, and now we're kind of like we've some of the people in charge have changed, and now we're talking about, okay, maybe we could bring 7th grade back, and then we can bring 8th grade back, and so, totally.
That would be fantastic. And Linda, I can't think of anybody, pardon me for jumping in here, we're going to hear the closing music for the show. I can't think of anybody better to have praying for and putting your efforts behind bringing that 7th and 8th grade back than you, because you have seen a lot, you've experienced a lot. You are definitely, I can tell that the faith is right at the core of your very being. And the fact that you're teaching religious education and all of that, you have a heart for souls. You really do. You have a heart for imparting the faith, which is the most important thing any of us could do. So, Linda, thank you for being part of this broadcast. And, Debbie, we got 3 more days of similar shows. So, Katie and Dolores and Valerie and the others, feel free to call in any day this week. We're talking about Catholic schools.
I just want to say, Linda, thank you for bringing that up, because a lot of times at the parish level, the school can be very hard to maintain, and so maybe it's our jobs to go there and volunteer and help out for the Catholic schools. But yes, tomorrow we're going to talk about what is the state of our high schools right now. What do you think? In our colleges, let's look at what's happening there in our high school and college levels. What do you think, Jer?
Looking forward to it again. This week is going to fly by like they all do, so please be thinking about that and feel free to weigh in tomorrow. It's the year of St. Joseph. Don't forget that. Until tomorrow, have a beautiful and blessed day. And we always say, St. Joseph, pray for us. Amen.
Dr. Ray Gurendi, making a commitment to the wives. When the show's on, put the radio under your